The city hummed, a discordant symphony of sirens and shouting vendors. David clutched his briefcase tighter, the leather worn smooth from years of anxious commutes. He'd seen that face before, not in a dream, not in a fleeting glance, but etched into the deepest recesses of his memory. It started subtly, a glimpse in a crowded subway car, a fleeting shadow across the street. Each time, the man's features were obscured, just enough to plant a seed of unease. But tonight, under the harsh glare of a street lamp, there was no mistaking him. He was leaning against the brick wall of David's building, a figure cloaked in darkness. Tall, gaunt, with eyes that seemed to absorb the light. I've seen him hanging around my door. The lyrics of an old blues song echoed in David's mind, a soundtrack to his growing dread. David quickened his pace, the click of his shoes on the pavement a frantic drumbeat, stealing for the prey like a hawk. The man didn't move, didn't acknowledge him, yet David felt an invisible tether pulling him closer. He fumbled with his keys, his hands slick with sweat. Inside the relative safety of his apartment building, he leaned against the cool marble wall, catching his breath. Like the day waiting for the night. The words resonated with a chilling accuracy. He felt hunted. He lived alone in a small, cluttered apartment on the Upper West Side. Books lined the walls, a testament to his solitary life as a researcher. He studied ancient languages, deciphering forgotten texts, a world away from the gritty reality of the city outside. Or so he thought. He shadows me back home. He risked a glance through the peephole. The man was still there, a silent sentinel in the night. Outside, he's standing there, alone. David's heart hammered against his ribs. He tried to rationalize it. A coincidence? A case of mistaken identity? But the man's eyes, his staring eyes chill me to the bone. They held a knowing, a predatory gleam that defied explanation. He poured himself a glass of whiskey, the amber liquid doing little to calm his nerves. He needed to think, to understand. Where had he seen that face before? It wasn't recent. It was buried deep, a memory struggling to surface. He paced his apartment, the floorboards creaking under his feet. His gaze fell upon a dusty leather-bound book on his shelf. It was a first edition of a rare Sumerian text he'd been translating for years. The Book of Shadows, it was called. Suddenly, a fragment of translation slammed into his consciousness. A passage he'd dismissed as metaphorical now seemed horrifyingly literal. The watcher at the gate, he who carries the face of the forgotten, shall claim what is owed. A cold dread washed over him. The watcher, the face of the forgotten. He remembered now. Years ago, during his research, he had stumbled upon a hidden passage, a ritual to summon something ancient and powerful. He had dismissed it as folklore, a fanciful tale, but he had translated it, transcribed it, and in doing so, had he opened a door? He rushed to his desk, frantically searching through his notes. He found the ritual, scrawled in his own handwriting. A shiver ran down his spine. He had unknowingly invoked something, and now it was here, waiting. He looked back at the peephole. The man was gone. But David knew he wasn't safe. He was being watched, stalked by something he didn't understand. The city outside was no longer a symphony, but a chorus of whispers, each one a promise of something terrible to come. The face of the forgotten had come to collect its due, and David was the payment.